You're up and running.
All right. Hey, everyone. Suresh, take it away, my friend.
Hey, welcome everybody. So, long time we met you guys. So, what is this announcement is all about? I mean, this is one of the important moment for us as a EverRise team. Like, where we are going. Just wanted to let you know that the first point is we have incorporated EverRise Inc. as a corporation in United States, which will deal with all the DApps and any kind of future DApps what we build in the EverRise ecosystem. So yeah, this is one of the biggest milestone for us, like having a corporation in the US and making sure that we do everything properly and legally. And the second most important thing what I want to announce is that we are removing the project sustainability tax completely. Whatever we are getting like 2%, that will be removed completely, like permanently. And we are actually adding 1% of the tax to the Kraken, so which will be like 5% for the Kraken for the next 3 months. However, this will be done only on EverSwap for this week, and we'll be opening up the voting on the EverWound to get the ownership back in the next couple of days. And after that, we'll reflect the same taxes in all the DEXs from next Tuesday. So which means for the next 1 week, it will be 5% tax and 100% of it will go to Kraken on EverSwap alone. And from next Tuesday, it will be applied on all the DEXs once we get the ownership back. So, and one thing is what I want to see is like, token is like, so token is nothing but there's nothing to do with the company. That is a community driven. If community accepts it, community adopts it, that is how the token will be successful. So we wanted to keep it that way. And at EverRise Inc., what we'll be doing is we'll be creating multiple dApps for the people who are in the DeFi space, or for the people who are coming into DeFi space. There will be numerous dApps available, and there will be so much of education space will provide. So the company will take part in those activities, nothing to do with the token. So in the future, anything to do with the token, like suppose after this, if we need to reduce further more tax, we'll ask for the community voting. Community will decide what needs to happen with respect to the Kraken tax, like how much we have to reduce, whatever it is. Any decision with respect to token will be done by the community. Any decisions with respect to the dApps, what we are building, how we are using it, everything is done through the company. So I just wanted to say this, like, this is one of the biggest. See, we always wanted to go this route. The way we started, we were in the meme space. Everything was like, but at some point, we have to make sure that we follow the legal path. Like, there should not be any issues. So it's kind of like we are a technology company building some sort of products applicable in the DeFi space. So we have to keep it that way. So I hope everybody got what I'm saying.
Yeah, Suresh, we got it. We got it loud and clear. I think this is an extremely important moment for any DeFi protocol. Long term, I don't think it's sustainable to have a kind of tax where the users pay the operations. And so, anybody that's listened to me talk has heard me say that there needs to be some separation between INC and the DeFi protocol. So this is, in my view, a massive step and also a good deal. It's nice to have a little bit less tax. It makes us more broadly appealing. And in a way, in my view, this is almost like having no tax at all, because that 5% now goes to self-sustaining the DeFi protocol. It stays within the liquidity pool, so there's no external drain there. So congratulations to you on taking this step, and congratulations to all the risers on maturing and leveling up significantly, in my view.
Very well said, Peter. Yeah, this is, I echo Peter, I echo Suresh. I'm sure Jen, Jason are going to say the same thing, but this is something that we needed to do as, a token, but more importantly, as a company. As Suresh mentioned, we are now incorporated in the United States. We want to make sure that everything is done correctly when it comes to the law, when it comes to everything surrounding EverRise. We are a serious company. We've said this from the beginning, and Suresh's announcement just now solidifies that even more than before. I know Peter's super excited about it. He was teasing it yesterday. He was teasing it on his AMA, but what Peter says is true. I mean, how many DeFi protocols do you see going to register in the States because they see they have a long-term goal and a long-term vision? It's more than just what are we going to be doing next week? What are we going to be doing next month? Setting up an incorporation in the United States is not an easy task, and I am just thrilled, beyond words, how far this protocol has come from a simple buyback token to literally creating and protecting DeFi infrastructure. Jen, I'll hand it off to you. If you want to say anything before we take some questions?
No, I think you guys did a really good job of, covering it all. So I think I'm good on my end. And I think I'll throw in one little thought. I think throughout this journey, and TJ, to your point, it's like EverRise today looks almost completely unrecognizable than EverRise looked a year ago. And I think that in itself is incredible. And when we look back at the past year and what we've been able to accomplish, and specifically when we opened up all of our DApps to, the broader market, it's like we've onboarded over 40 different project teams. That's incredible. On-chain users, we have over 105,000 on-chain users, over almost 200,000 ecosystem transactions. That means just transactions happening through our DApps. So it's a really exciting time to, one, be building in this space, participating in this space, and I'm excited to see what we do throughout the rest of this build market, I almost feel like we should change bear market to build market, because it's always the time to build, but now even more so, you're going to be able to see who can actually build and deliver on the utilities that they're saying they can. And obviously with us, we have a pretty solid track record so far. So I'm excited for the future. I don't know about you guys.
It's easy to be excited for the future when you're involved with EverRise. I'll say it all the time. I'm a hand waver. It's Suresh, it's Ben, it's Tim, it's Gavin, it's Jason, it's Storm. They're the ones building things, who are making things that are going to have value. And to be able to cheer about that and to wonder what's going to happen in the coming years is an honor. And I'm super excited, just like you, Jen and TJ, and I'm sure you as well, Suresh.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this new chapter of EverRise. Everybody tries to go away from US, and we wanted to go into US. We are starting as a company in US. We want to do it legitimately.
I mean, that speaks volumes. I'm sure, Peter, you can go into detail at a later date about why, about what Suresh just said about everyone wanting to avoid the US.
Yeah,
that's probably your favorite topic. But we said at the beginning, right? It's transparency. We are accessible. We want everything to be accessible. We want everything done by the book. So why not incorporate in the United States for many, many different reasons? Peter, I look forward to having this discussion with you at a later date.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're going to open the floor for questions shortly, and I'm sure people will have questions. But bear in mind, I also hold out every Wednesday evening now for questions of DeFi governance. If anybody ever has any concerns about making sure that INC has its interests aligned with the DeFi protocol, please come and talk to me. I'll be there tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. But of course, if anyone has immediate questions right now, we're here for it.
Yep, let's open the floor to questions. I don't see any hands raised at the moment, so if you do have a question on Twitter Spaces, please raise your hand. If there is a question on YouTube or Discord, we will read it out. I'm just going to skim over the YouTube comments right now. Jason, I don't know if you've been seeing anything on YouTube.
I got half a question in Discord. As you skim, I can just ask it and answer it.
Sure.
The question is a classic one. With no business tax now, would it be safe to assume VC talks have gone decently well? Well, we simply just, as a matter of policy, can't update you one way or the other until everything is totally closed. The end of the business tax does indicate that we will never again be using business tax revenue to sustain operations, but that's the end of what I can say.
And if I can just say how huge this moment is for the project, like a DeFi protocol that has now got tokenomics that are positively only going back into the actual ecosystem and not being used externally for any business or marketing use. A completely self-sufficient ecosystem that benefits the holders. And like I said the other day, and I'll continue to say, Suresh and the leadership team here continue to make decisions that benefit every holder, whether that's someone that has 1 rise or 100 million rise. We've got your back, and this is extremely exciting news. Not many protocols out there can say that they're removing the marketing business tax from their protocol. So we're happy that we can.
Yeah, exactly, Jason. The value has to come from somewhere external, not internal. The value long term shouldn't come from the holders who are putting their own hard-earned money into a particular protocol. It should come from the success of the people building. And of course, as everybody knows, we're marketing every single day. We're trying to gain adoption of our DApps, and that is where external value comes in, not only for INC in the form of revenue, but also for the DeFi protocol in terms of the RISE token, which, as everybody I think knows by now, is intended to be the fuel for the DApps. And so that's the model. And the model is no longer having any user ever put a single dollar into a marketing or business wallet.
Well said, Peter.
Absolutely. And just very quickly, I just want to just clarify this. The distinction between the token and EverRise Inc. is completely separate. Okay, EverRise Inc. is centralized as a company. The token is decentralized as a token. Okay, so just make sure you have a distinction between the two there. I see there was a comment on the YouTube. I just want to just reassure people that there is a clear distinction between the two.
Thank you, Jason.
There's actually, I do see a comment on YouTube that I think is interesting and I would love to address. So the question is, what were to happen if a change to the contracts in Everown needed to be changed in the best interest of the company, but the token holders refused to approve the unlocking? So this is where we go back to, there's a reason why we're very clearly trying to separate out the development of the DApps, the revenues that the DApps create, which is now going to be housed under the EverRise Inc. organization, which is our new corporate identity within the United States. And we wanted to have a very clear distinction between the company versus the token. So like Suresh said at the beginning, all things related to the token moving forward will be decided by holders. There's never really going to be a point in time where we ever put the company's interest above the token's interest, if that makes sense. Suresh, I don't know if you want to add on to anything, but there's a reason why we're locking it in Everown. If there's ever something that we want to do, and you guys as the community, as the token holders and stakers say hey, no, that's not in the best interest of the protocol, you don't give us access to the smart contract back. It's as simple as that. That's why we designed the system to be the way it is.
Thanks, Jen. Well said. We will go to Sibian now on Twitter Spaces. Thank you for your patience, my friend. How are you? I hope I said that right.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. How you doing? You okay?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So it's great, all great news. I was just wondering if the company ever, or is at the moment, able to buy shares within the company. Would you ever incorporate something within the EverRise system on the crypto side where we could buy shares within the company?
That's a great question. Currently, EverRise is what's known as a closely held corporation, and so it has to abide by a great many regulations that are promulgated by the SEC, including it's not a public security yet. It's not available for sale to the public. When people are engaging in VC talks, we're making sure that we comply with all the applicable regulations. So in terms of whether there might be an IPO down the line, that's far too premature for us to speculate on. Ripple, for instance, is talking about they want to IPO. that's just too far afield for us to look at right now. Anything remains possible, but for the time being, it's a question of keeping the company closely held with our preferred VC partners if and when that closes. But that's a great question. Thank you.
No problem at all. Thanks for accepting the question. But, yeah, great job, guys.
Thank you, Sibian. I don't see any other hands raised in spaces at the moment. Suresh, I am respectful of your time. Did you have to head out, or are you going to hang around?
No, I need to head out. So I just wanted to thank everybody for this opportunity. And I'm just making changes for the tax update on the EverSwap. Within 5 minutes, everything will be updated. Thank you once again.
Thanks, Suresh.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Within minutes on EverSwap, the 5